I'm going to take a look at this You Can Survive 2 Survival Kit from MPI. I think this is a fairly old one, but they are making them. I think they're still making them. They're about 10-15 bucks if you look at them online. I got this one a little cheaper at a gun show, and we only really bought it to do the video, so let's see what it looks like inside. I think the concept's sound, putting a kit into a small can like this. Sealed in that plastic to protect this lid and to keep it covered, and then sealed like a I don't know, can of potato sticks or something. So it's got a fairly heavy paper. I don't think it's waterproof paper. Put some Gatorade on it. Oh, it's not falling apart necessarily. So it is some fairly decent paper. I got it pretty wet here, and it doesn't even feel like it's going to tear. Definitely didn't smear. So some heavy-duty paper. Gives you some basic emergency stuff. And it looks like it's nitty-gritty survival info. It's not a bunch of fluff. How to get water, how to signal your help, emergency sunglasses, a lot of good stuff. And that's all before you open the kit. So let's open it up. Opens right up. Nice and dry in there, of course. I suspect this would have definitely kept something dry inside. So here's the contents. I like the list of stuff it's got, so let's see what we've got. Now this is an ITW whistle. Doesn't look like it's a knockoff. So decent whistle right off the bat. More modern than I would have thought. Sounds pretty good. We've got Rosebud Strike-On box matches that are just plain old stick matches. They work fine. What do we got here? A plastic bag inside of a plastic bag with a couple of rubber bands. It's colored a little bit, so I'm not sure if that's from age or from something in here. We've got just a little length of 550. Couple of fire tinders, 4 of them, a safety pin, 2 safety pins, a razor blade, and then a made in Hong Kong liquid filled compass. For some reason it's really hard to get it to spin there. So I'm not going to give it a very good grade for that compass. Next we've got a fishing kit, which is a fairly large hook, a bobber, and some just monofilament line. So I'm not going to give it real high marks. I kind of like the little thing that it's on for keeping track of it all, but a little large and a little flimsy. So not very high marks for this. I don't know what you're going to catch with a big hook, but not where we live. Then we've got a piece of a plastic mirror with a cover over it. This looks like bulk mirror that's just cut down to a 2" by 2" slice. We've got a piece of cardboard with some threads, a couple of needles. The holes on the needles are pretty darn small. Since you can get about 1 million different types of needles, I usually try to find needles that have a little bit bigger holes for a survival situation, just so I'm not fumbling around too long. A couple of reusable zip ties that are fairly brittle. I'm not really sure what those would be good for. We've got some butterfly closures. I like the idea of those. A couple of regular band-aids, we could take them or leave them, and then a couple of these fingertip style. And then we've got an aluminum cup or aluminum tin that they say could be used for a cooking pot or a drinking cup. I think you could definitely use it as a drinking cup, but the way that the lid opens, this is a pretty ragged edge here. So you'd cut your lip for sure. You'd have to spend some time whittling that down. I think the biggest thing I'm missing is a knife. With as much room as we had in there, I think a knife would have been real easy to put in. The matches were a little weak and wouldn't be much good once they were open. There's really no way to waterproof them. I guess you could keep them in this bag. Overall, you know, I think it's worth maybe $5. More than that, I'm not sure if it's worth it. The size is right, and it's definitely a good start for one. It's better than nothing. Something you could leave on a dashboard. I think I wouldn't bother to travel with one like this. Not quite practical enough for travel, but interesting nonetheless. So hopefully it was interesting to watch the video. And that's the MPI Outdoor Safety Products Survival Kit in a can.